Hello and welcome to my coverage of the semi-final win by Waikato over Northland. First up, you're going to have my post-match review report. Then I have a chat with Roger Randle about the game, who is the assistant coach for Waikato. Then we have a chat with Darren Witcombe, who is the head coach of Northland. We'll go over their season a bit more than just purely the game. And finally, I have a little chat with Fletcher Smith, the fly half for Waikato, and about his move up here from the South Island. So enjoy that and enjoy the rest of my 10 Cup. Hello and welcome to the post-match report for Waikato versus Northland, and it finished a rather comfortable victory for Waikato in the end, 48-26, even if they did get a late yellow card for taking the player out in the air, unfortunately. So how did this one go? Well, it started off basically the first half with Northland pulling out into a lead, generally against the run of play, to be honest with you. Waikato had most of the territory and possession, but Northland's backs were able to create some breaks and get themselves a 21-7 lead. Waikato pegged that back to 21 all when Northland picked up a yellow card just before half time, and all their tries at that point had been from first phase off set piece, one off the line out maul and two off the back of scrums. But then Sever Reese really got in on the act, picked up a crossfield kick and dived into the corner early after 41 minutes to give Waikato the lead for the first time in the game. Then Waikato did the right thing of stretching the game out with a penalty, and then followed up by Sevu getting an intercept. And once that happened and it went out to 38-21, you thought that pretty much the game was over, even though there was more than a quarter of the game to go. But that patch just after half time, getting those unanswered points, really put Waikato ahead. And then Waikato decided that they basically were going to pin Northland back with kicks, and they won. They were generally winning the kicking duel with someone like Fletcher Smith in there. That always kind of helps. They did get some possession in the Northland 22, showed some good patience, and as soon as Smith found a gap, he long passed to Sevu Reese and for his fourth try of the game. They picked up a yellow card then for repeat offences as Northland got the upper hand and bashed away at the Waikato line, and eventually they went over using a line-out maul, but with what looked like about 13 or 12 players in the maul. So using an old one that I think Wales used against the All Blacks, where you stack all your backs in there as well, and they went over to pull it back to 45-26. A couple of breaks then, and it looked like Northland had scored, but the knock-on denied them. And it was always going to be an improbable comeback, but they could have scored a couple of points towards the end. They had a good finish to the game. They'll be disappointed with their season. They've done as well as last season, but when you consider they only won one game 2 seasons ago, it shows you how far Northland have come on, that they'll be disappointed with this rather than being happy with their season. And it does show that Northland are consolidating their growth and improvement, which is very good to see. And to say, there was that yellow card towards the end, but Waikato go into the final, and we'll have to wait and see whether they'll face Otago or Hawke's Bay for that in the final next Friday. Hopefully going to try and catch a couple of interviews now. So here we are with Roger Randle, assistant coach of Waikato, after the semi-final win over Northland. In the end, a comfortable victory, but in that first half just failed to execute initially.
Yeah, it was. We'll take the positives out of that game. You know, it was a semi-final. It was pretty warm out there. Got 6 tries, created a lot of opportunities, but I don't think we finished and executed as well as we wanted to. I think defensively we were poor at times, and Northland come and did some really good stuff, but I thought defensively we need to be better than the way we started that game.
Yeah, and Jack Debrasini managed to find a few gaps for at least for 2 of the tries. Rennie Ranger, well, you always expect he'll do something at some point during the game. It was their big names that really that hurt Waikato in that first half.
They're good attackers. They are good attackers. But I think defensively we were a bit slow to react, to connect, and our one-on-one tackling wasn't good enough. So, as a team, we spoke about that at half-time, and fortunately they got a yellow card and managed to score 21 points in that time, and pretty much put them under a lot of pressure, field position-wise, and squeezed them a wee bit in that early second half. And I think that was probably where the game was won.
Yeah, you obviously you were pressuring in the first half as well, got them through a lot of work. As you said, the temperature. You guys had obviously quite a few subs fairly early in that second half. Was some of the temperature part of that?
We wanted to play with tempo. We felt it was a disjointed game through errors, mistakes and whatnot. So we ideally wanted to play at a higher tempo than that. We felt like we might be able to stress them a wee bit if we could play with that tempo, but fair play to them, they come back and hit back a couple of times in that second half, which put us under pressure. So not ideal, but to get a win and give us another week is awesome for us.
Yep. And Sever Rees comes back in the side after being rested last weekend, 4 tries. Got to be happy with his finishing at the very least.
Yeah, that's right. Like, he was outstanding again today in his 50 minutes to get 4 tries. So, what can you say? He's a pretty integral part of our group, and he's a good team member, and the boys love him. So,
cool. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you next weekend for the final.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Cheers,
thank you.
So we are after the Waikato Northland semi-final with Darren Witcombe from Northland head coach. In that first half, you guys managed to, whilst weather a lot of storm and also get some good attacking from your backs, they managed to find some good holes.
Yeah, we did, mate, and it was really pleasing that we managed to be able to play our game a wee bit.
The yellow card, obviously, at the end of the first half, they let Waikato back in, and then in the second half, things just sort of went away from you. Obviously, made the semi-finals. A bit of a disappointment season. I think you've kind of had better aspirations, maybe.
Possibly, mate. I think overall we're quite pleased. To be fair, we've got a young group, and we've lost a lot of experience from last year. So we've picked a lot of club rugby players. So though I wouldn't say it was a disappointing year. I mean, we made the semi-finals, and we've given a lot of players some really good experience. So. Hopefully they'll grow from that and be better for it next year.
I had a chat with your assistant coach last year, and he was saying how you guys bring a lot of work into strengthening your club scene. So, and obviously, so a sign of that with all these players coming through, that that work's starting to pay off.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And I think it's just just picking our local guys. We've got to trust them. If we want our province to get behind us, we need to pick our local guys. So, and we need to upskill them. So.
When you talk about Province getting behind you, I was up there for the game against Waikato. Sold out the main stand, some good crowds. So the people up in Whangarei are getting behind you and enjoying the rugby you're playing.
Yeah, they are. Not just Whangarei. It's the whole province from Wellsford to Cape Reinga. So we've got support from all over, and it's a huge area. But the supporters have been great.
Well, you've done very well growing the side since over the past 2 seasons. When you had that game that season with just 1 win, then you came in and have done well in the last season. So well done, congratulations, and I look forward to watching you guys next season as well. Good luck.
Cheers, mate. Thanks. Cheers. Thanks, mate. Catch you later.
So here we are after the semi-final between Waikato and Northland with Fletcher Smith. Another good kicking day for you, and happy with obviously the result.
Yeah, really happy with the result. Obviously, at the start of the game, we weren't too happy with the way we started. They got on top of us with a bit of pressure, and we just looked a bit asleep. So got a bit of a talent up at half time, and we came out and luckily got the job done.
Yeah, and you're enjoying your move up to Hamilton. You've obviously, I think Joel was saying you were 90+% with your kicking so far this season.
Yeah, I'm really loving it. All I wanted to do was come up here to a new environment and challenge myself in a different environment, like I said. So I've made some really good mates, and I'm really glad I came up here.
Yeah, by the sound things, you've been obviously chatting to family and friends in the stand there. So you've built up a good support network up here as well, even though you have moved away from home.
Yeah, it's really good. The fans up here are really supportive. So luckily we got through to the final, so hoping to get a good crowd next week. And
also you enjoyed the experience of being a shield holder for a few games this season.
Yeah, obviously. Well, it would have been nice to have it over the summer, but that's just the way footy goes sometimes. So potentially we could face them next week. So we'll sit back and watch them beat each other up, and we'll prepare for next week.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time, and prepare for next week, and looking forward to see you in the final.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.